Yo, welcome back to another episode of the JVaz Show. I am your host, JVaz. Shouts out to everybody that's been watching, everybody who subscribed to the channel. If you haven't done so, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the share button. I apologize for my voice. I've been a little under the weather here lately, but we're back into it. We're back and rolling. Let's jump right into it, man. First announcement, I said it on the previous one, but Texas Underground has moved to La Maquina TV. If you haven't done so, and if you like the interviews, hit that link on the description that's going to take you to La Maquina TV. That way you can check out the weekly interviews and stay up to date with some of these, OG stories and all the content that we bring for you guys every week. Jumping into it. Let's get right into it, man. There's a certain topic that I've been asked to talk about by a lot of the TikTok followers that want me to talk about this. Now, I'm going to tell you why I don't want to get too much into it. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. Sometimes it seems as if, well, let me tell you what it is first, right? No shit. So, people want me to talk about this whole Cali versus Texas stuff, right? And I get it. Cali's been taking a lot of shots at Texas. They've been taking a lot of shots at us every which way they can. I find it very ironic that they've waited this long to start talking about us, right? Now, if you think about it, regardless of how people might feel about SPM, the news is out. And we're going to talk about that here in a second too. But the news is out. SPM, mid-October, he's due for parole. So, it's only right that these people start taking shots at us now in hopes that there's some kind of retaliation, right? And instead of trying to connect the dots between Texas and Cali and become stronger, they're trying to divide everything, right? They're trying to divide the Mexicans from Cali and the Mexicans from Texas. I understand some Mexicans from Cali just don't like us. That's cool. We're not meant to be liked by everybody, right? That is one of the reasons I'm not digging too much into this, because the more attention we give them, the more they're going to keep using that Texas name and trying to, throw more shade our way so that we can make their platforms relevant, so we can give their platforms views. And we're just not going to do that, man. We're not going to do that. It's unnecessary. Instead of throwing shade at one another, we should be trying to connect those dots. That's what I got to say about that. But I do got to talk about this. Mr. Capone, he's back on the JVaz Show. Mr. Capone released a video where on this video, Mr. Capone has a phone call with that Mexican OT. Up to this point, no problem. Mr. Capone tells OT that, he's got a choice. If you're going to listen to SPM or not, you got to deal with the consequences. It does sound like he's trying to check that Mexican OT. But at the same time, he's giving him his flowers, giving him his props. I don't have a problem with none of that. What I do have a problem with, and this is because, I was watching Haters World, and Haters World said, you let these men have their conversation. I respect that. However, if this was really a man-to-man conversation, why in the fuck is this call being recorded? For one, why is it being recorded? Two, why is it being published to the internet? If it's supposed to be man-on-man conversation, I don't know, man. The way I was raised, the man that raised me, this man, that's not the way things are. Real man ain't supposed to be doing this shit. Recording a phone call, publishing to the world, trying to prove that, hey, I checked this guy. Nah, not in my eyes. That I can't respect. I can respect that you don't like SPM. I can respect that. You don't listen to SPM. I can respect that. But recording a phone call and then releasing it to the internet, bro, you're cloud chasing. That's all you're doing. And again, it goes back to trying to use these Texas artists, trying to use Texas as a whole to create that clout, create that motion. That's probably the last I'm going to talk about that, right? Because I'm not with it. I'm not with it. Keeping it moving, that Mexican OT recently dropped a track called 2299. On there, he's got a bar that says, fuck Mexican OT and his raps, he's just a bitch. So if you connect that dot with another dot, could this be the response to Brick Wolfpack? Is this the Mexican OT actually responding to Brick? And I stand on what I said on the previous episode. I hope that's not the case. I hope these camps are having a conversation and squashing that beef, because as you can see, we already have people from another state coming at us. Last thing we need is for two people from our own state going at each other. So ideally, it'll be dope to have these people squash. I'm not saying be best friends or collaborate, squash the beef, but a collab would be dope. Brick Wolfpack, Mexican OT, get it together, squash that shit, and hopefully whatever the misunderstanding was, it's not that deep to where it could come to an end a lot easier. Because again, I don't know the full story, so it's easy for me to say just squash it without knowing the full story, but I hope it's not that deep to where we can squash it and keep it moving. Let's talk about some music reviews. I'm going to talk about a couple of albums, a couple of singles that I've heard here the last couple of weeks. Shouts out to my boy Chop the Father. He's a Houston artist, very lyrical artist. At the end of December, he put out an EP called Blue Pill Music. It's a 9-track EP, features a lot of his, up-and-coming partners on there. DFD Baby, Viva Mezcal out there in Cali, Boy Heights, shouts out, Carlos Slim, and Chrissy P. It's a 9-track EP. If you haven't heard of Chop the Father, this is definitely a good album to check out. Very lyrical, with the message. A couple of the tracks. It's a 9-track EP, but it has a couple of skits on there. So it's really about a 6 or 7-track EP. 3 of my favorite tracks on there is Mad Dog 2020, which is a track he previously put out as a single. Interest is also a dope track. And What's a Man? That's a dope-ass single as well. A dope-ass track on that project. So if you haven't done so, make sure you check out Chop the Father, Blue Pill Music, available on all streaming services now. Another single that dropped at the beginning of the year, Crystal Poppin. Crystal Poppin dropped Baby Blue featuring AK the Savior. If you haven't seen the visual, Crystal Poppin goes live on her Tuesdays, and a lot of people on her YouTube believe she's signed. And this is a prime example of why people believe you're signed, Crystal. Your fucking visual is dope as fuck. Very well put together. The song as a whole is dope, showing that you're lyrical, showing that you're versatile. The visual is sick, man. It looks like they're in I believe they're in the desert, but it looks like they're in somewhere where it's snowing. Dope ass visual. AK the Savior, first time hearing him as well. His delivery was dope. Overall, dope ass track. Make sure you guys check it out. Baby Blue, available on all streaming services now. And one of the bars that she says on there is, on the hook, in the game I've been cemented and I got nothing to prove. You really don't, baby. You've been doing a lot of shit this year, or last year in 2023. KP, shouts out. El Paso, what up? And AK the Savior, first time checking you out. Definitely gonna keep checking you out now. Really, really fuck with your delivery on that track. And let's keep it moving. Greeno the MC, my boy Greeno dropped so he already dropped another single, right? My boy's working. But this one was dropped on January 5th. It's called Spend Time. And first I want to say I wish it was longer. That's what she said. But you get it. I wish it was longer. It's a dope ass vibe. I was listening, and as I was listening to the song, I could visualize a music video, right? It's a dope vibe. It's almost like a summer track, like summer vibes, but I'm like, okay, this could be something in the spring too. It's actually dope, man. Got the guitar playing in there. I wish it was a little bit longer, and I could see this being, I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up being like a soundtrack to a movie or something. It really has that happy vibe. Make sure you guys check that out. Greeno the MC, Spend Time, available now on all streaming services. I mentioned we were going to talk about this, and we're going to get into it. SPM being eligible for parole mid-October. I was with my boy Smokes World podcast the other day, and we talked about this. What we think is going to happen when SPM comes out. What do we think is going to happen? For first, if he chooses to jump back into the game, he's going to kill it. I mean, the dude is already getting streams like crazy, considering he's been locked up since 2006, I believe, if I'm correct. And it still gets 1 million listeners on Spotify, a little over 1 million listeners on Spotify. Imagine if he comes out and decides to go full force, head on into the game. Now, what do I think? Mo Hustle said it on that show as well. Shouts out to Smoke's World. Shouts out to Mo Hustle. But I feel like at this point, if SPM gets out, I would hope he spends some time with his family. You know, it's been a long time since 2006. 18 years, if I'm right. It might be more. I don't know. Something like that. I don't know, man. I can't do math that quick. But it'd be cool to, have him spend some time with his family. You can't get time back, but it'll be cool for him to make up some of that time. If he decides to go on tour, that'll be very interesting to see. How many of you guys would actually go check out the tour? Drop a comment, let me know. But if he does decide to go on tour, especially here in Texas, it's gonna sell out, bro. I mean, if you go to the, to his festivals every year, it's crazy how many people show up. And this is without SPM. So if SPM was to actually perform, I can see the show selling out. So we'll see how that plays out. We're not going to talk about the case and everything else. You should know about that already. Again, we're talking about the artist, not the man. So regardless of how you feel, the artist, regardless of how you feel about the man, the artist is out here, doing numbers and is going to continue to do numbers. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens once he gets out, and be interesting to see who he works with as soon as he gets out of prison. So a segment that gets a lot of people stirred up, and I'm decided to change the name a little bit. I have a segment called Texas Latin Legends, right? And a lot of you get all stirred up about the artist because, he's not from Texas. He hasn't done shit for Texas. Cool. I respect your opinion. Therefore, I'm changing the name to Latin Legends. We're just going to hip-hop Latin Legends. We'll call it that. Or rap Latin Legends. I still don't know what the fuck we're going to call it. But to kick that off, we're going to talk about this artist that was born in Cali, Colombia. You know what I'm saying? This man popped in the scene for me in 2005. The Bum Beats Draped Up remix. And we're like, hold on, who's this cat? Even though I wasn't all that impressed by his verse then, I started checking out some of his mixtapes. And his mixtapes are actually dope. And I'm talking about Aztec Escobar. You might have forgot about him by now. This man is doing big things, not really doing music anymore. He was the first artist officially signed to Rock La Familia, Jay-Z's label. Again, he appeared on the music scene when he did Bum Beats Draped Up remix. He dropped 4 mixtapes. In 2005, he dropped King of Kings. 2006, he dropped Rise to Power. 2007, he dropped Blood In, Blood Out. In 2009, he dropped I Swear to God. Then he started moving into the big screen. He made his debut as Ivan Ortiz and on CBS crime drama series called FBI Most Wanted. He made, he made his debut on the Miami episode of Fox comedy series Louie. Then he popped up on the big screen in 2015 in the movie Southpaw. This man has done a lot. Went from being an artist, the first artist that happened to be Latin, signed to Rock La Familia, to hitting the big screen. I was going to say he was from Houston, but I understand he's actually in Cali, even though he's been in Houston for so long. But I'll let you guys decide. Is that enough for him to be considered a Latin legend? Because, being signed to Rock La Familia, being on the big screen, dropping music, dropping mixtapes. He was one of the people that was recommended to do a segment on. So I'm letting you guys decide. Is Aztec Escobar a Latin legend? Drop a comment. Let me know how you feel. If you don't feel like he is, just let me know. Let's get straight to it. You know what I'm saying? We're going to wrap up this segment. Wrap up the show with this segment called Artists to Watch. On this artist to watch segment, I'm going to talk about this artist coming out of Houston, Texas. If you've ever seen him perform, you've seen how electric his performance is. He goes by the name of Tillo. He has this song called Wild. That was a baby mama anthem. Motherfucker went viral on TikTok. He dropped a single with D-Baby called Blessings. There's a whole story on that. Make sure you guys check that out too. Blackout with Young Easy. Again, can't talk enough about his performance. Fucking electrifying. The man has that energy. You know what I'm saying? Dope artist. On December 1st of 2023, he dropped an EP called Victim of Lies. It's a 7-track EP featuring Animace, JR, and Jalen. It's more on the personal side, but again, it shows versatility, which I respect that. He recently dropped a track with Mac Young. Off the top of my head, I can't remember what the track is called. I do apologize. But make sure you guys check that out. Artist to watch, Tillo. Versatile, electrifying, talented. Check that man out. We'll put the link on the description of the video. And if you're watching on YouTube, we'll just follow the link to YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, follow the link to YouTube and it'll take you there. But here's my artist to watch this week. Talking about Tillo. So make sure you guys check him out. And again, thank you guys for watching. This show is brought to you by La Conecta. You know what I'm saying? We got them cool hats from La Conecta. They got the stickers, La Tóxica, Texas made. They got this book right here that went viral, La Mamalona That Could. You know what I'm saying? It's actually a dope book. Kind of funny for kids and whatnot. Show is brought to you by La Conecta. Check them out at shoplaconecta.com. They also have the custom license plates. Use the promo code Texas Underground and you will get a discount. Texas Underground, use the promo. And once again, thank you guys for watching. Again, Texas Underground has moved to La Maquina TV. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let us know who you want us to talk on here next as far as the Latin legend goes. And we'll see you guys next week. I'm trying to drop episode like this every week, once a week. JVaz, thank you guys for watching. Let's go.